After 137 years of theories, advanced DNA testing has confirmed the real identity of Jack the Ripper. This is scientific fact, not clickbait or speculation. It is not a royal and it is not a surgeon. The suspect was someone the police watched die in anonymity. One silk shawl, forgotten in a box, cracked the case. A single piece of evidence produced a 100% DNA match. We will reveal not just the identity, but why authorities let him get away with it. The story that follows is science versus legend. Jack the Ripper's shadow has haunted the world for over a century, not just for the brutality of the crimes, but for the mystery that followed. The streets of Victorian London became a stage for endless speculation. Newspapers, penny dreadfuls, and gossip columns churned out new suspects with every passing year. Some swore the killer was a master surgeon, slicing with clinical precision. Others pointed to a tormented artist or whispered of a royal scandal buried by the crown. Theories tangled with rumors, secret societies, foreign immigrants, even high-ranking Freemasons accused of orchestrating a cover-up. Every scrap of evidence, real or imagined, was picked over by amateur sleuths and professional detectives alike. The appetite for answers grew so fierce that a whole industry sprang up around Ripper memorabilia and supposed clues. Yet for all the wild stories and famous names, no one could ever prove a thing. The legend only grew, fueled by the very absence of proof. A silk shawl, deep blue with a floral border, surfaced at a London auction in 2007. The seller claimed it had been passed down through generations of a policeman's family, each retelling the story that it was taken from the scene of Catherine Eddowes' murder in 1888. For more than a century, the shawl drifted through private hands, its true origin clouded by family legend and the booming market for Ripper artifacts. Most experts dismissed it as another Victorian curiosity, untraceable and likely just another fake. No police inventory or inquest record ever listed such an item from Mitre Square. Still, the textile's age matched the era, and the pattern was consistent with late 19th century designs. When an amateur sleuth placed the winning bid, he wasn't buying a proven relic. He was gambling on a fragment of history, hoping science could settle what rumor never could. Dr. Jari Louhelainen faced a challenge few forensic scientists ever encounter: extracting genetic material from a silk shawl more than a century old, handled by dozens of people, and exposed to the grime of Victorian London. In his lab at Liverpool, John Moores University, Louhelainen relied on mitochondrial DNA, a form of genetic code tucked inside every cell, passed down unchanged from mother to child. Unlike nuclear DNA, which can break down quickly, mitochondrial DNA is hardy, surviving in conditions that destroy almost everything else. The process began with laser microdissection, a technique that uses focused beams to isolate single cells from tiny stains on the fabric. Each sample was treated with extreme care. Sterile gloves, sealed containers, and dedicated workspaces minimized contamination. Once isolated, the genetic material was amplified using polymerase chain reaction, known as PCR. That method can copy even the faintest traces of DNA until they are readable. These steps were repeated and logged, forming the backbone of Louhelainen's approach and turning a relic once dismissed as a curiosity into a testable piece of evidence. To verify whether the shawl truly came from the murder scene, the research team began by searching for a living descendant of Catherine Eddowes' family. After tracing her maternal line, they contacted a woman identified as the great-great-great-granddaughter of Eddowes' sister. She agreed to provide a DNA sample. In the lab, scientists compared her mitochondrial DNA, which passes unchanged from mother to daughter, with the genetic material extracted from bloodstains on the shawl. The sequences matched perfectly. This result tied the fabric directly to the Eddowes bloodline, offering the strongest evidence yet that the shawl had been present at Mitre Square in 1888. For the first time, a piece of physical evidence from the Ripper case could be linked to a victim's living family, but the story did not end there. Alongside the blood, the team found traces of male DNA, biological residue that could belong to the killer himself. The next step was to see if this genetic fingerprint would finally reveal the identity that had eluded history. The DNA match did not point to a prince or a famous doctor. It led straight to Aaron Kosminski, a name lost in the noise of history, but well known to police files from the start. Kosminski was just 23 years old in 1888, a Polish-Jewish immigrant who worked as a barber in Whitechapel. He lived in the heart of the murder zone, walking the same streets as his victims. For Russell Edwards, who had spent years chasing legends, the truth felt almost anticlimactic. Science had pulled the mask off a local nobody, someone hiding in plain sight all along. The answer was simple, and that was the shock. Police records from the 1890s, including McNaughton's confidential memo and Swanson's handwritten notes, placed Kosminski at the heart of police suspicions. Yet no official document ever tied the shawl to the crime scene, and the chain of custody vanished for decades. Critics argue that this gap, together with the risk of contamination from countless handlers, leaves the DNA findings open to question. As forensic science redraws history, even legends can be unmasked. Every new answer raises a harder question. How much proof will we ever need to feel certain? Share your thoughts below.